presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA. Happy 4th of July weekend. Hopefully it's starting out well for you. We're going to be talking fishing right here until 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, only until 8 o'clock, but good Lord willing, we will be here until then. Lots of stuff to talk about. There's that story I was just talking about, 11-year-old struck by lightning at Williams Park. I think he's okay, is at least what I heard.
It's been a crazy week of lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, just last weekend, Saturday, we were on the air, got off the air. 2 boats were struck by lightning last weekend, Saturday.
I think it's because they're unhappy that the Lightning did not win the Cup. I think that's the problem.
Okay.
Lightning's a little bitter.
I don't know if I could draw that parallel myself.
I got it for you, buddy. I got it. I can always find a sports parallel somewhere. I can.
All right.
If it isn't really, it isn't really one, I'll make one up. It's all good.
Welcome to Real Animals Radio.
Right. We're going to BS our way through this whole thing.
I think it has a lot to do with just the amount of energy that's been around lately and that summertime pattern that we're all getting used to again. It's so comical to me that whether it's cold, heat, afternoon rain, people like forget what happened 12 months ago. Like it starts getting hot and people are like, oh, it's so hot. Like, dude, it's not even September yet, guys.
I know.
Like,
we're
just getting into this.
Yeah.
And then, it's going to rain all week. There's 70% chance of rain. Like, it's summertime. There's 70% chance of rain for the next 4 months.
Every day, all day.
Yeah. If you don't go outside when there's a chance of rain, you're never going to go outside.
Short memories here.
Yeah. And then our first cold front, everybody will be walking around with parkas.
Yeah. Women break out those fuzzy little boots and wear them into the
Yep.
Like, it's only going to be cold until about 9 a.m. and then it's going to be 85. I know, but I bought these boots and I haven't worn them.
I have flip-flops in the car.
You only get to wear them to work. At 9 a.m., by the time you get your coffee down, it's going to be 85.
Yeah, I just stopped drinking hot coffee this time of year. It's tough.
It's just
5 a.m. It's brutally hot.
I'm not a hot coffee guy anyway, but
yeah, you're some kind of weird person that doesn't drink caffeine.
Just drinks water.
I have a big problem with that.
Well, I'll tell you what happened there. The doctor told me when I had my bout with AFib that no more caffeine for you, and I was in the hospital for 4 days, and I went, okay, no problem, that'll work.
Yeah, not me. I just recently had an EKG done. They were worried about something in my EKG, so I went to a cardiologist specialist, and they were going through the whole thing. Everything's healthy, thankfully, but through that whole time, that was my biggest fear. It's like, please don't tell me I can't have caffeine, because I'm not that kind of person. I don't think I would survive.
You would survive. I was pretty bad. I was Mountain Dew guy and Coke guy and all day long. So and they still don't know why I went to AFib. They don't have a clue, but that was one of the things they were like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that. So I just quit.
I've seen the vein in the forehead pop out more than once. I can understand
that's
why
not
you're
on
going to
coffee.
AFib.
Yeah, that's not even on coffee or caffeine or anything. That's just heart. I just put my heart
passion.
Passion for.
It's a nice way of saying
the sport of fishing. So backside of the new moon here, bite's been really, really good. At least the inshore bite's been hot, but the getting out there early. It's that time of year. Fish early, fish late. Try to avoid that
or fish
middle
all
of the
night.
day, or fish all night. Unless you like to sleep.
You can sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, that's
See
true.
why I like caffeine?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But how's the offshore scene? You guys have some good trips?
It was a little tough right before the new moon and on the new moon. We had a big current. It was a real big struggle there for a couple days, but on the backside of that new moon, the bite has just been red hot. We had a little bit of a lull with gags, but they've come back in a huge way, and we've had a steady red snapper bite. Like I said, a little tough trip there right before the new moon, but since has been all out, and a lot of nice red snapper, a lot of nice gags, some big scamp. The Flying Hub 2, I think it was Sunday, No, it wasn't Sunday. It was one of these past few days. I don't even know what day it is half the time. But they came in with 40 keeper grouper and a boat limit of red snapper. So, like, That's 72 big fish for 16 anglers.
Right.
Yeah, they're just stroking it offshore right now and doing really well on the 39-hour, 44-hour, 12-hour. Not a lot of pelagics right now, which is kind of strange, but we're seeing a lot of those grouper, snapper, pretty steady mangrove bite. Yellowtails have picked up quite a bit. And, just focusing on trying to keep everybody hydrated and trying to dodge these storms. There's been a lot of tropical moisture out there in the Gulf. It was interesting. I think it was yesterday. We had a tail end of a cold front become a tropical storm off the coast of South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah. I think that was officially ruled this morning by the National Hurricane Center as a tropical storm. Pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy out there, so just got to watch it and be cautious.
It'll be interesting to get the full fishing report from Mike Mahoney on his trip to Louisiana. Him and his band of weirdos were out there for like 11 days, so they got 10 days of fishing in. So that should be.
Did you see that Aaron fell in the water?
Yes, I did. Yes. Yes.
Classic.
Yeah, it's you never know what's going to happen with the band of weirdos. Tales from the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go fishing with Mahoney is the moral of this story.
I don't listen.
Watch the show. Don't fish with him.
Listen to the show. Watch the show.
Don't be on the show.
Check out his podcast, but don't be a participant in Weirdo Land. That's what I recommend not doing for sure.
But I can't believe some of the big scamp they were pulling up off them rigs. It's pretty crazy. And some nice red snapper, some nice mangroves. I didn't see their inshore catch, but I know they were doing some inshore fishing too.
It's just a special place. I've done it just about everything out there. The only thing I haven't caught out there, I think, is a sword and a marlin. Just about everything else we've caught there. I mean, big tuna
and the food. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Food's phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, the mangrove snapper bite on some of those nearshore wrecks is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You're catching 7-pound mangoes off the front of the boat, and I'll never forget. We were fishing out of a 36 yellowfin with the Pro Marine guys, and I'm looking at the machine. I went back to get a new bait up. Mango took my bait, so I went to the back of the boat to get a new bait, and I'm looking at the machine, and I'm like, well, that's not up there by the wreck. That's got to be right below us here. I wonder what all that is. So I just, instead of going to the front of the boat, I just dropped one straight off the back. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a 38-inch redfish all hanging out. I'm like, what? Really? Anyways, like, what you got? I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of weird. Oh, yeah, it's a giant redfish.
That's crazy.
While you're mango snapper fishing in 80 foot of water, 100 foot of water right off the coast. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we have that here occasionally when those redfish get offshore, but the ones we catch offshore look like they've been through a battle royale, and they're like eels.
But that's because ours are coming through.
Yeah.
We get ours on a come through. I don't know what those fish. I think those fish might just be residents out there. Who knows? It's very weird fishery out there with all the nutrients that comes out of the Mississippi
and the mixing zone where you have a lot of fresh water going pretty far out into the Gulf.
Yeah, it's a unique. It's a unique fishery. There's no doubt about that. So, but as is ours, and again, lots going on. Pompano bite picking up, just everything kind of going off. Snook bite's good. A couple of schools of big redfish showed up this past week, which I thought was interesting.
That's kind of unique for this time of year, right?
It's not. I mean, we start to see them in the summertime.
I thought it was more like late summer they start schooling up.
September it's August, late August, September is usually go time, but we always have a few schools. There's always been we used to
started early.
Tarpon Key used to be just a perennial hangout in the summertime, and they were frustrating as all get out because they get really stubborn and sometimes really hard to catch up, super shallow.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was smart enough to know that a piece of cut bait works really good.
Tarpon Key, what part of the bay is that?
It's down by Fort DeSoto.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it was great. It's not so great now, thanks to DEP and the Piney Point spill. But hopefully it'll recover and grass will grow there again.
What's your favorite cut bait for redfish?
Boy, that's a good question.
Mullet, ladyfish, pinfish, threadfin.
Yes.
All of them.
All of them work really good, and I don't I don't know. I think it probably has more to do with, what they're seeing and what is around at that time than anything.
Match the hatch.
Ladyfish is tough to beat. A little piece of cut mullet, a little staked up mullet is great bait. I shot a show with Danny Allen up in Cedar Key. I think we launched the boat at 7 a.m. and we were done filming by 9:30.
Do you stake the mullet? Like just cut them right through the
chunks,
fish?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't fillet it and then cut off a piece of the fillet?
No, little chunks are perfect. Ladyfish, same way. Just cut it into little steaks and fish it. The skin on the ladyfish is kind of tough, so you put the circle hook or if you're having a bird issue, certain times of year you have bird issues, so I'll take a 1/4 ounce jig head and fish it on the bottom on a jig head. The only bad part about that is you have to keep your line a little bit tight. You don't want to drag it through the grass because you get grass on it, they won't find it. But you got to keep that line tight, otherwise you'll get gut hooked fish. You got to be real careful. So anytime I go away from a circle hook, I'm trying to be real careful so that you don't end up gut hooking them. But that makes a great way to get that bait. It hits the water, it gets down deep, so the birds don't get it, so you don't end up with a bird issue. And here on Tampa Bay, making a long cast is a beautiful thing. So putting a 1/4 ounce jig head on there and on an already little meaty chunk of ladyfish, you can chuck it 300 miles. So that's pretty good, yeah.
And then, typically with that, how do you avoid catfish, or do you not run into that issue on the mangroves?
I don't think that's it's not really an avoidable situation. You may grab a catfish too.
Oh, okay.
But there's just certain times when that's what the redfish will eat. They get, they're just like you and I, especially them big breeder redfish.
We eat anything?
No, well, no, but I'd much rather someone bring it to me and to me have to chase it. Like I don't want to chase it, and they don't want to chase it when it gets hot. I use the analogy all the time. If you go out and cut your grass right now at 2:00 in the afternoon, the last thing you want to do is walk in the house at 3 and eat a steak.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute. Let me cool down. And the fish are going through that every day at 2:00 in the afternoon. So you got to put something there that they can just kind of, swim over and be like, oh, look.
Yeah. Yesterday we were loading for the 39-hour. It's brutally hot. Got all these people around, and someone brings a Philly cheesesteak in. Like, hey, do you want this? I'm like, no. Everybody was worried about me. It's like, just put it in the fridge. I'll get to it.
Not right this minute. Thanks anyway.
Yeah.
Not going to do it.
I think that's a great analogy. I always talk about the same thing, whether it's at a fishing seminar or whatever, this time of year. Just like you and I, when you go outside at midday, 2:00, 3:00, you don't want to be super active in the middle of an open field.
Right.
But if you can find a little shady spot, rest for a second, you get little bursts of energy, and that's kind of what those fish are doing. They're looking for that bridge or that dock line, or that deep pocket, or that pass with moving water, the incoming tide bringing in fresh water from offshore with more oxygen in it. They're looking for those little bits of reprieve
100%
to give that burst of oxygen.
I did some podcasts this week. We got new podcasts coming, the Real Animals Podcasts, available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, ritampabay.com, and Spotify. So be on the lookout.
Find podcasts.
Just about.
You could just say that.
Well, there's a couple places that we're not. But anyway, I was able to, I rattled through a bunch of them. We got 6 podcasts done this week. And I really enjoyed the one I got to do with Tom Rowland from Saltwater Experience.
Oh, cool.
And him and I had I did his podcast too. One afternoon I was on the Tom Rowland podcast as a guest. And it was really interesting diving into some of the intricacies of, the technical side of fly fishing and the details to catching permit and, bonefish and tarpon on the shallows down in the Keys. And I mean, it was really, really interesting. And it kind of, through all the podcasts I did, and they weren't all total fishy, but like Ryan Rickard, he won the Bassmaster Redfish Cup last year. Huge win, 10 million views, on YouTube and all that. So, I mean, huge win. But in talking with him and talking with Tom Rowland, the details, into the details. Once it gets hot, they're going to look for shade. They're either, if you have a high water, which in the summertime we have these higher tides, soak baits right on the trees. But you got to be like in the trees. You can't be 2 foot out of the trees. They won't come out and get it. dock lines. I love dock lines, especially as we get closer to September. Late August, mid-August on, that turns into just a great advantage. Great advantage. And like you said, moving water. If you got great moving water somewhere, dock lines near passes or narrow areas where that water travels a little bit faster, yeah, it can really up your ante. So super good stuff. Again, lots to talk about. We got a question of the week, which we will deliver here on the other side. We're also going to get caught up here with Capt Mike Perry from Big Pine Key, and find out what's going on in the beautiful Florida Keys for the 4th of July. I hope you're up, getting ready to get on the water or head for the beach this morning. If you are, and you've got questions, comments, or fishing reports, you can bring them right here, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Gills Apparel was started by anglers looking for one thing: performance. Stylish, lightweight, comfortable apparel that keeps you cool and protected on the water or off. Cool Core technology offers all-day comfort in even the harshest environments while giving you amazing sun protection. See for yourself why Gills Apparel was...
When in doubt, you got to smack the mouse around.
I got my Waffle House shirt on and eating my McDonald's.
About to go to the beach and drink a bunch of beer.
Lots of beer.
This is an annual thing for your family, right? Every summer? Mm-hmm. Are you going to 1200 Chop House?
We might.
That place is bomb.
We've never in the past, but Beth and I talked about it.
Yeah, make a reservation. I don't know if they do reservations.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I think I just go.
Yeah, that place is busy and it's so small. That place, and then Zamora, upstairs at Zamora. That place is really cool.
Really?
Beautiful rooftop bar. Great appetizers. They have like little cabanas, so you and your group can like sit at a cabana.
Really?
The bar is awesome. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it. It's a nice night. And what's the other thing in St. Pete Beach? Oh, of course, Willie's. You've been to Willie's before.
I've not been to Willie's.
Yeah, it's more of a dive bar, but
I like
it's
dive bars.
worth the drive. They have the best cheeseburger. It used to be $5. They called it the Big Gooey. It was like a crazy big cheeseburger, and they have a black and blue burger. And they used to be like cheap, but I'm sure that's not the case anymore. But yeah, great little dive bar spot.
I like. We're big fans of Snappers. Mm-hmm. Snappers seafood is always good.
Dan Casey's restaurants. It's like Frank Chevis restaurant. Mm-hmm. You know it's going to be good. Snappers, there's Mad Fish, 1200 Chop House. That's all his stuff right there.
Yep. He's a stud.
Yeah. Frank Chevis, seaweed over there in Seminole. Oh my goodness. It was the Marlin Darlings, and then he's changed the concept to seaweed. Incredible.
Really?
Yeah, we've always loved Salt Rock. We go there all the time, but seaweed is killer. Holy moly.
Have you ever fished with Cody?
I grew up with them. They went to Keswick with me
okay.
for like 2 years. But Cody was older than me. Kyle was the one I knew more. Cody was in my sister's grade, like 3 years older than me.
Cody Chevis is a freak.
Yeah, very fishy dude.
Very fishy dude. Great. The show I filmed with him was unbelievable. We were shallow. I'm like, really?
That's awesome. Kids study. Kids who are more active are healthier. Huh. Someone paid for that study?
It's great news.
If you're active more, you will be more healthy. Science in 2022, baby. Another plane fight?
No, bird.
Yeah, ever since the mask mandate ended, there's no more good plane fight videos. Those were always entertaining.
I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to beat some ass on a plane before.
Oh, yeah. I've been there. It's why I don't like flying. It just makes me angry. I'm all squeezed in. You're already tense. You're anxious because you're trying to travel somewhere.
It's a bad time to push my buttons.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then they tell you that you can only have a certain amount of alcohol. Very frustrating.
That's right. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. Number one bullshit.
What do you mean I can only have one mini bottle of Jack? I don't care. It's a 30-minute flight. Yeah, the trick behind flying in general is you gotta brown nose the crap out of those flight attendants because they're just treated like dog poo all day.
It's horrible.
If you're nice to them, it goes a long way.
Welcome back. 970 WFLA, the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Captain Dylan Hubbard, Captain Mike Anderson here talking fishing. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Let's check in with the beautiful Florida Keys, Big Pine Key, as a matter of fact. Captain Mike Perry, how are you, sir?
Hey, happy 4th of July weekend to you fellas.
Yes, sir.
Back at you, brother, back at you.
Hey, thank you. Well, we made the sojourn back to the Tampa Bay area. Yesterday was my last charter before the holiday. If it was any indication, I don't know if there's any people left on the mainland of Florida. I think they're all in the Florida Keys.
I was about to
Holy
say,
moly.
when you were driving back, were you the only car heading off the Keys on US 1?
I got to tell you, Dylan, that's funny. My wife said, that was one of the easier trips out of the Keys that we've had in a long time. I said, yeah, look at the people pouring in.
Yeah.
Boat after boat after boat. And that's exactly why I say the 3 summertime holidays are not the best if you're bringing your boat. If you want to go with one of the captains down here, that's different. But if you're bringing your own boat, be real careful this weekend, folks. Real careful.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
But the fishing's been great. The mahi fishing has been off the chain. Plenty of, from chicken size all the way up to, we got one this week that was 31 pounds on the scale, and
nice.
Very
That's a
good
big one.
Yeah.
Very good mahi fishing right now, and yellowtail, big mangoes and muttons, and just a good bite.
What's the
we've
best?
Been going out.
What's the best
Sorry.
month? It's okay. I jumped in on you. What's the best mahi month? Isn't it July?
It's right now. Yeah,
Okay.
it
I was
is
going to say
right.
it's got to be
The heat of it.
Yeah, we got to be in the middle of it, right? I was just curious.
I actually saw a post from somebody up in the Crystal River area that the mahi came in to 35 foot of water up in the from that way up to the Big Bend area, all the way up.
Yeah,
Some
we
boats
caught
were out there. 35 foot of water. I'd pay the fish to come into 35 foot of water, even if they're chicken dolphin. That'd be a great day, especially with gas prices the way they are.
Yeah,
No
we caught some chickens in about 38, 40 foot of water. I think it was a week and a half ago. They're definitely
There you
around
go.
and shallow.
That's crazy. Good to see.
Wow.
Yeah, good to see.
But no, the fishing has been really good, and I heard you talking about Tom Rowland there. I was at Lower Keys Tackle Shop the other day fulfilling one of my tackle orders before I left, and Tom walked in, and he was talking, and I introduced myself. I've met him a couple times, and you never know if people remember you. And I said, oh, he goes, yeah, don't you have a home up Tampa Bay area? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to be talking to Captain Mike Anderson sometime soon on a podcast that he does. And it was funny. I can't wait to hear it because Tom Roll, those two guys, you talk about knowing the technical aspects of the Florida Keys. There's not many guys better.
No, he's a technical cat for sure. Hey, I'm up against the clock here, brother. Let us know how everybody can get a hold of you when you make your way back down to the Keys to book a trip real quick.
Sure. After July 6th, it is 813-434-8086, CaptainMichael47gmail.com. Call Mike Anderson, 1-866-GAMEFISH. he'll shoot you my way. Again, everybody be safe on the water, be safe on the roads. And if you're going to the Keys this weekend, FWC, the Marine, everybody that's got a police boat, they won't get you on the water. They'll be waiting for you at the boat ramp.
I gotta wrap this up, brother. Great call. Thanks, sir.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Good stuff. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back. Oh, Tommy Rowland.
So Tom Rowland is a Keys guy?
He's actually started his career in Jackson Hole.
Jackson Hole, Montana?
Yeah, he's a freshwater guy originally. He was a Florida kid. I think a Florida kid. He went out there to get a job and was going to go to Alaska and and guide in Alaska.
Wow.
And his dad, he was telling me the story that his dad sent him a letter, and he opened it up. It was just an envelope with a piece of paper in it that had openings down in the Keys for looking for guides. So he goes, my dad was always good like that. He didn't tell me what to do, but he'd send me little notes and messages like, this might be a better choice than Alaska.
Talk about a juxtaposition.
Yeah, he said him and his wife got down
From thinking Alaska to going to the Keys.
Yeah, well, even Montana to the Keys.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, so.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Last time I went fishing was up in Maine, and that was more than half my life ago, so I think I was 14.
Maine is a cool place, though.
It's cool if you're into wildlife, and
This is the other story I was telling you about.
I just heard about that. I was gonna ask if you guys have seen more like increased shark activity lately.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Whenever the
Somebody
tarpon are
just
here.
got bit on Clearwater Beach or somewhere
Did
like
they?
that. So that's I think 3 shark attacks in the past week. It's gonna keep happening.
I think I'll sit in the
There
pool.
was a hammerhead that was like literally on the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, it was,
Oh, yeah, I saw
That's
that too.
that's pretty common
Yeah.
for tarpon season, though. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
that close to
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 feet of water.
Dude, I've had them right next to the boat. I've reached out and grabbed their.
Then
Oh, yeah.
man tries to steal
Are they
Star
natural,
Wars.
are they aggressive or are they just
Hammerheads not as aggressive as other sharks. Bull
Bulls-
sharks are the
bulls
most
are
aggressive.
That's
terrible.
the bull shark got her, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Typically, most shark attacks are bull sharks.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Yeah. Super
If
aggressive.
I'm being honest. Hi, I'm a bull shark. Well, you're an ale.
They're one of the
Bull
few
shark.
sharks
The
that you can
lionfish
kill
of-
still.
of the
Yeah.
shark world.
Yeah, that herd should be thinned out for sure. We got way too many bull sharks.
We got way too many ridgeback sharks. That's how many. Ridgeback sharks, sandbar sharks are the worst offshore. I mean, you hook a fish and stay on a spot too long, you're going to be covered in sandbars. Nuts. Yeah, we have a big shark problem in the Gulf. It's pretty crazy. It's worse on the Atlantic side. It's terrible in the Keys. I mean, I don't know how them boys do it in the Keys. I mean, I guess that's why they billfish more than they shark fish or reef fish.
First time I mutton fished down there, we couldn't get a mutton to the boat.
Yeah.
Sharks were pummeling us.
Yeah, I mean, for every fish you land, you fed 10 to the sharks.
Crazy.
And that's not sustainable.
No, it's just crazy.
The fishery
We
would
talked
collapse.
about some of that on the podcast with Roland, talking about tarpon and sharks. And he does a
Yeah,
good
we have a
interview.
huge problem
Yeah,
with sharks.
for sure.
And the problem that we have with sharks is just people. Because you talk about killing sharks or opening shark seasons, people lose their freaking minds.
Stupid.
I mean, you bring a
But
shark
see
to
what
the
we
dock.
should do. I have a plan for that. If you take all those people,
Well, what's going to happen is this is going to keep happening. Little girls are going to get bit by sharks at the beach, and then there's going to be a public outcry, and then finally some of that will be loosened up.
I think, like I said, if we planned it right, we could just kind of get a poll going. Okay, who in this group really doesn't want to kill sharks? And everyone that raised your hand, you get over here in this line on the left. Okay, And as soon as they all get in the line on the left, we push them bitches in the water and let the sharks eat them. That's how you thin that herd.
They've pretty much eliminated commercial shark fishing in the Gulf of
It's
Mexico.
unbelievable, right?
And that's the problem, is there's no commercial fishery for them anymore.
It's horrible.
We used to have 3 shark boats out of Johns Pass that would go out in commercially long line shark boats or sharks. There's only 1 boat left, and he's only rod and reel. So instead of going out for like 14 days and bringing back 10,000 pounds, they're going out for a day and bringing back 1,000 pounds. And I mean, you have to be darn near a scientist to be in that fishery, because identifying those sharks as they come up, because you got to kill them to bring them on board. So you got like 35 seconds while they're in the water to determine if it's one of the 4 or 5 species you can actually kill. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
I would want no part of, and that's why we don't take sharks, because there's so many you cannot kill and that are federally protected, and it's hard. It's hard to tell the difference.
Well, and the bad part is you get the money, the funding for a lot of that stuff on the PETA side comes from them, the losers that are out there in Hollywood and stuff. That
Well, it's not even
clue.
PETA. Like in West Palm Beach right now, there's this Facebook group called Sportsmen Fighting for Marine Balance, and it's Atlantic, it's Gulf, just a bunch of fishermen getting together and getting angry about how many sharks are out there. It's a Facebook group. It's pretty cool. And they wanted to do a shark tournament, a kill tournament, legal, kill bull sharks, and they are getting massacred, dragged by spear fishermen, divers, PETA groups. All these people are just dragging these dudes and trying to kill the tournament. There's this huge petition being signed that they shouldn't be able to kill sharks. It's crazy.
Welcome back. Rolling into a big segment here. If you want to join us, phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. The great Captain Jim Fogel, our Coast Guard auxiliary main man, our dude there that gives us our safe boating tips each and every week on both shows here and on DAE on Sunday mornings, is not going to be calling in this morning, I guess. He's in the middle grounds fishing because he's all hoity-toity and on a big boat.
He loves his red snapper season.
He does, yes. But he wanted us to talk about lightning, which we have talked about a little bit already. We had a youngster get rocked right at Williams Park Boat Ramp there on U.S. Highway 41 there
11 years old.
Gibsonton. Yeah.
Crazy.
And he was stepping off the boat onto the dock there at Williams Park and got whacked by lightning. Luckily, he survived. We had the story that's going around this morning about the young teenage girl who was scalloping. Scallop season just opened to the north of us there. And
what a way to announce scallop season.
yeah.
It's like scallop season is open, and this girl just got bit by a shark.
And here's a shark on your leg.
And a lot of those counties and those areas, they depend on scallop season.
100%.
I mean, that's their
Here's
month.
and I'm going to tell you that not growing up here and having a wife who grew up here, we were scallops. That was something we did every year.
Yeah.
Once I took the wife and kids to do it, Beth was like, "Hey, I love, this is cool."
It's like grown-up Easter egg
It's
hunting.
just again, it's a day in the water. Half the time I would grab 5 scallops and I'd get up in the boat and open a cold beer and just watch. I'll be like, I'll make sure none of the boats get too close, and which is a problem. Safe boating tip 101 here. Scallop season, you need to pay attention to dive flags and just go slow. Don't be in a hurry because it's real easy when you're scalloping to get out away from that boat, especially with the tides we have right now, summer tides and all that. So last thing you want to do is run somebody over. But I was in Crystal River. Filming a show with James Kerr, one of my favorite captains up there, and Lisa Fitzgerald. And we were actually looking for a school of redfish. We were working our way up towards this island to get on some redfish, and I stuck a really nice snook stud, and in the blink of an eye, right next to the boat, 3/4 of my snook was gone from a bull shark.
Oh, yeah.
I freaked out. I'm like, and Lisa Fitzgerald, our CCA Star Tournament Director Extraordinaire, She looked right at me and goes, "That's why I don't scallop." And I thought to myself, dear God.
There's a lot of them up there, man.
And I'm telling you what, that bull shark was aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no winning that battle. Like that fish was not going to get away.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy right there.
Bull sharks are like the junkyard dog, and they patrol those flats up there like crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a problem. I have a problem with this. We need to thin that herd some. There's way too many bull sharks.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many tarpon we lose to bull sharks, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely a big problem we're facing in the Gulf of Mexico, Atlantic, all over. These protections around sharks are insane. And just the overall sentiment. I mean, I remember, I'll never forget the time that we brought in a legal bull shark. I got death threats for like 6 months over that. I wasn't even the one who killed the shark. It was nuts, man. We had like 4 or 5 news stories on it, and like people were outraged that we killed the shark. It was pretty wild. All the junk we went through for taking a legal fish, posting some photos about it.
I don't get, have they seen you? You're a big guy. Who's making a death threat on you? That's
I know
good.
a kindergarten teacher had her kindergarten class make notes, and like they were like little crayon drawings by little kids about how I'm a terrible person. That resonated with me. It still messes me up to this day.
You're going to need counseling?
Yeah, probably. One day.
Really?
That one time you killed the shark, do you remember that?
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think Shark Week is our biggest problem. I mean, think about Shark Week and what it does is it mystifies this creature to millions of Americans who have no even remote clue on sharks and just overall ecosystems, and they don't get on the water.
Right.
I mean, think of all the people in Indiana,
Wisconsin,
Michigan,
Iowa,
all these places that have never been to the Gulf.
Never even seen a shark.
Yeah, never even seen a snapper or a grouper. But don't talk about killing sharks to that person because they watch Shark Week and that's their favorite. And if you watch Shark Week nowadays, I can't stand it. Growing up, I loved Shark Week. It was like cool, all the great whites, Chris, whatever his name was from South Africa. I loved Shark Week. Nowadays, it's just like a week of propaganda.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're killing our oceans and plastics, and you got to save the sharks. They're all gone. Save the sharks.
All the networks are the same now.
Yeah.
They don't care what you play.
Mm-hmm.
If there's money involved, they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We don't care about if it's propaganda. We don't care whether it's true or false or just your
my
views.
son. I like those ocean or blue planet.
Yeah.
I love that. So the other day, my son and I were sitting there. We were playing with some toys in the living room. So instead of putting on his little cartoons that he likes, which drive me crazy sometimes, I put on Blue Planet. So I was like, all right, we'll see some fish playing around. I had to mute it. I just couldn't stand the sound and all the diatribes that were coming out of it. It's like, come on, people.
Yeah.
It's trying to indoctrinate the nation. It's nuts.
Yeah, well, that's the world we live in.
Fishermen are the end of the ocean. Was the message.
Yeah, it's the world we live in with knuckleheads that can't think for themselves. Thank you, Facebook. Let's go to Ron at Ron's Tackle Box, get our freshwater report. He is our freshwater guru out there in beautiful Lake Alfred. Ronnie, how are you?
Doing great this morning. Weather's nice here. Fishing's great. We have a lot of running water out here in Polk County, which is really good for fishing. Catching a lot of nice shellcracker in the canals, and bass fishing's great when you can get out, but it's been pretty hot. But after these showers we're getting, it's been really turned on good.
Nice.
Seeing fish, 9, 10 pounders even in shallow water, so they're feeding.
No
Awesome.
sharks. There's no sharks out there either.
Gators.
No sharks that I've seen lately.
Bull sharks do go in fresh water. Watch your back.
I was up in Crystal River, though, Father's Day. You were talking about Crystal River, and seen a lot of manatee. Surprisingly, as hot as it was, there was a lot of manatee there.
That's awesome.
Really good.
They like to be up. They like to be up there by the springs and get that cooler water.
Yes. It was pretty nice sized ones I've seen. It was surprising.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well,
no sharks in that bay. It was good.
Yeah. There you go.
So the big bass was 9 to 10 pounds, you said?
Yeah, this week I've seen several over 9.
Wow.
It's really good.
Why such an uptick in big fish this week, you think? New moon?
Tell people, they show me on their phones, so it's not like they're taking them out of the water and killing them. So we're not killing the fish.
No, you don't want any death threats.
Catching them. Catch and release.
Is there a reason for the uptick in the big fish this week? Was it the new moon, you think?
I believe so.
Okay.
In the running water, the movement of water.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, both those things make sense.
That's what's got them stirred up and
a little bit of rain.
Feeding real good. Yes.
Interesting.
So it was really good. Hopefully we'll have a good week this week.
That makes me think, if it rains out, I eat really good too because I'm inside. I got nothing to do, and I just eat.
Yeah, there you go.
That makes sense.
That's right.
Yeah, lots of rain.
Captain Mike is just like a bass.
Yeah.
A giant bass.
I want to mention, too, you're talking about safety. This weekend, a lot of boaters out there, a lot of water skiers, jet skiers. Just be careful out there. Wear them life vests. It means a lot.
Well, and I always like to say, we live in paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a freshwater family or a saltwater family or a little of both, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
And if you love to be on the water as much as we do, as much as most people do that listen to this program, you don't want to make that one mistake.
Yeah.
That every single time you look at the water for the rest of your life, you're going to have massive regrets because someone you love or someone else loved got killed by you doing something, stupid, drinking, and in this heat out there on the water. It's a bad plan. When the storms are coming, don't wait till the last minute. Get out of there. This lightning is no joke. We've had
that's for sure.
A ton of lightning strikes here lately. It's been crazy.
And lightning can go more than 10 miles from the cloud.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, it's really.
It comes up quick, real quick.
It's really not worth it. I mean, we have so much. I know it's a big weekend. I know a lot of people are off, and it's holidays for a lot of people. We're headed for the beach this afternoon. It's our big family vacation with lots of friends, and our kids grew up on this vacation. They're all coming together. We're going to have fun. But, man, when that lightning starts to rock and roll, it's time to take cover. We don't need to be playing with that. So it's got to be smart.
For sure.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna have a cooler full of ice cold beer by my side all week, but I'm not driving. I'm just, worst thing that could happen is I could fall down. Yeah, so don't. But seriously, I mean,
big tree fall hard.
And I don't want to do a whole show on safety, but yes, big tree does fall hard. I need some help, Ron. This show may not make it.
I'm just picturing you on the beach right now, like trying to stagger back to the hotel room with your cooler full of beer. That's funny.
That's it. But if you get a chance to come out, this way and do some fishing, it's been really turned on good. So
tell everybody.
Lakes are at a point where you could get out of the water real quick. So
tell everybody how they can find you, brother.
All right, I'm at 380 South Lake Shore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990.
You going to make it over to ICAST this year?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right, well, make sure you call me if you get out that way. Dylan and I are going to be running around. Maybe we'll get together and grab a bite.
We'll do it. Thank you.
All right, my friend. We appreciate
Have a nice
you.
4th of July.
Yeah, you do the same. Happy holiday, my friend, and be safe out there, all right?
See you around.
Thank you.
All right, partner. Good stuff. Ron at Ron's Tackle Box out there in Lake Alfred. If you're out that way, definitely stop by and check him out. Good people, for sure, to say the least. And hopefully we'll see him at ICAST. That'd be good.
Yeah. ICAST is definitely coming up. A lot of new stuff going on and being shown off. I'm excited. Always cool to see the new products for the next year.
It is. The only bad part about that event now is that it's kind of turned into a little bit of a knucklehead fest. Used to be a little better, I thought, when it was out in Vegas.
Yeah, I never went when it was out in Vegas.
As soon as it got to Florida and they just kind of opened the doors to every.
They Floridified it.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I've had people ask me like, "Hey, can you get me a pass to ICAST?" I'm like, "It's a buyer's convention. It's not like a boat show. It's not for everyone."
Yeah.
And that's the bad part. You got every
And it's not even a buyer's place. Like, you can't go there. I go there and I try to make orders, and they're like, "Oh, no, you can't order here." I'm like, "What? Here's the phone number to call an order." I'm like, "I don't want to call an order. I'm standing in front of you. Write down my order."
Some people still take orders there.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of that's been the evolution of it. That's really what it was originally, was guys just sitting there taking orders from dealers. That's how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be.
That's why I went my first time.
You saw the new product, you decided what you wanted to bring into your stores, and you ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's, kind of turned into a big schmooze fest, and every fishing guide on the planet shows up to this thing, and they got no business at a convention like this. But
and originally it got that way, but now it's like not only is every fishing guide there, but every 14 to 21-year-old with an iPhone is there in a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it's like you got a couple of subscribers on YouTube, you can get in with a media pass, and now it's a little nuts.
It's not great, for sure.
It's always funny. You'll walk down one of the aisles, and at each booth, there's someone like with a gimbal and their phone filming a video for their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the people in the booth are obviously irritated. it's pretty comical.
Because people want to actually get in that booth and do business, and they can't because you got some clown in front videotaping their stuff. So, yeah, it's just a mess. But anyway, the other thing I like about it is you get to see a lot of people we don't normally get to see. We'll get to hang out with Mike Dixon, our good friend from Ingo Coolers, and I just get to see Eric Bachnick. I get to see a lot of people, the Bull Bay guys and the Gills people, and all my people are there.
It gets us all into one room.
It does, and I get to see a lot of my buddies that host TV shows and all that. It's all good stuff. So phone lines, again, are open, 1-800-969-9352. I know a lot of you are already on vacation, but Dylan and I are not yet on vacation. So if you could call us.
There's no vacation in sight for me.
Help us roll through help us roll through the next hour and 10 minutes here. That'd be great. Again, it's 1-800-969-9352. Let them up. We'll be back.
When it comes to keeping the real animals team on the water, nobody does it better than T.A. Mahoney Company. They have a full-service boat and trailer service department. They do your electronics, boat rigging, trailer repairs, including axles, springs, bearings, and hubs. They've got everything from frog gigs to cast nets, fishing tackle, clothing, and sunglasses. You name it, they've got it. That's why their motto is, if we ain't got...
Trailer hubs. Son of a sailor. Mm-hmm. There it is. This mouse is giving me issues today. Oh, that's working.
Stuart Messman, we have an FWC officer coming by the studio.
Wait, what?
Stuart Messman.
Oh, he's coming by the studio to join the show?
Yeah.
This morning?
Yeah.
Oh. So I need to set up another pair of headphones.
I got one right here.
I got one.
Hey. We got a
guest inbound.
FWC officer is going to come and ring the front doorbell, so listen for it. We'll let him in. We're going to put him on the air. He said they've been looking for you. You got
Uniform law enforcement.
APP out for Dukes.
Just stay behind the glass. You're good.
Well, with you having warrants, you shouldn't have called me old this morning.
Or admitted. There's a discussion about bull sharks in the Facebook feed. That's real. They do go up freshwater.
I freaking brought mine in and didn't.
Why do I hear myself? Hello? That was weird. Heard an echo.
Echo.
It's like one of our... Yeah, Jason, when he said FWC's coming by the studio, I was like taken aback for a second. I was like, why?
You and Mahoney, huh?
He said FWC's on the way to give you a ticket for that shark you killed. That's funny.
Where's my Facebook app? What the hell? That's not good. Where did Facebook go?
You can just open the browser too there, bud.
Oh, there it is.
How long are you going to be at the trade winds for?
We're not there.
Oh, you're not? I thought you always went to the trade winds.
Nick Nieves. No.
Oh, that's what's so loud. It's those headphones. Why is it so freaking
We go to a little place called Beach Haven.
Oh,
Look at this. Kenny Hyatt on the line. .655 here. Got a short segment before the top of the hour. You know, for every fisherman, at some point in your life, you meet or get to fish with a guy who's just like uber talented. Like somebody you fish with at some point in your life where you're like, I will never forget fishing with that guy.
yeah.
The guy, our next caller here, that's that guy. He's that guy for me. One of the best. Seriously, one of the best I've ever fished with. Super good dude. I don't get to talk to him enough. But he's joining us this morning. Kayfabe, Kenny Hyatt. How are you, brother?
Michael, Dylan, how are y'all?
Doing good.
We're good, buddy. What's going on, pal?
Man, you know, I want like another 6 hours of sleep and another 5 hours of daylight. I mean, it's a really phenomenal time of year, you know. And I'll tell you what, the lightning has been amazing. I've had a couple of trips this week where I got in from offshore late, and I had a couple of trips last week where I got in from crab fishing late.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary.
Yeah.
Really?
Scary.
A lot of lightning.
Fishing, on the other hand, has been off the hook. So,
Yeah.
That's good.
you know,
What kind of
really having a good time this year.
what kind of crabs are you fishing for, Kenny?
Oh, I'm not fishing for crabs.
Oh.
I'm fishing with crabs, Michael.
Oh, you're fishing with crabs. I got you. You're poon fishing.
Tarpon fishing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been, you've been doing it, I'm sure. It's just been a really good year.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems to have been good all up and down the coast. I was talking to Jeff Hageman, caught him rolling back into town from his Boca tarpon season, and he said the bite was phenomenal down there in Pine Island and down in Boca Grande. So it seems to be really good all along the West Coast here this year.
No, I think it is. And the best part about it is I think so far we're going to have tarpon fishing that's really good for the next, 2 months.
Yeah.
That's good to look forward to. Not a lot of people doing it, so it makes it fun.
Yeah, that's when the super fishy cats. That's when they get busy tarpon fishing. Is in July and August when everybody else has had their full of it and they're pretty much done. That's when the Frank Bachniks of the world and the Kenny Hyatts of the world do all their damage.
No, but it's such a good time. There's nobody left, but it's hot, and you got to go early and you got to go late, but it can be pretty rewarding.
Yeah, no doubt. Good stuff. Well, hey, buddy, have a great 4th of July. It's always good to hear your voice. Best to you and the family, my friend. We appreciate you listening and chime in anytime. All right.
Absolutely. Y'all stay safe out there.
All right, brother.
You
Good
too.
to hear your voice, kid. Good stuff right there. Captain Kenny Hyatt, great fisherman. Him and I spent a year on the Redfish Tournament Trail, and I probably learned more
Where's he out of?
about catching redfish right here in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
He's a South Tampa guy. I probably learned more about catching redfish in a year on tour with Kenny than at any other time in my career.
Wow.
I mean, seriously talented.
Redfish University.
Seriously talented guy. Seriously talented. Can catch fish in all different kinds of water conditions. The first tournament we fished together was a FLW, the first 3-day FLW tournaments that started. We were out of Terra Verde, and we ran 87 miles one way.
Classic.
87 miles one way to catch our redfish, and it was something else. It was an experience
That
I won't
is
soon
a
forget.
long run.
87 miles one way. Yeah, we caught them though, and Kenny was right. Those were the fish we needed to the bait was down south already, so the fish were heavier. It was very interesting. I learned a lot with Kenny, so it's good stuff. We got Mike in Pinellas with freshwater dangers. He wants to talk freshwater dangers. Great. Now we're going to talk about alligators.
No, I hope not.
No?
Alligators freak me out. I'll swim with sharks all day, even bull sharks. But alligators, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They freak me out.
It all freaks me out a little bit. I'll just sit on the beach and drink. It's all good. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back. I want to call back the person that called me at 7 o'clock. What the fuck is your problem? I'm sorry. I forgot we're on the live feed.
I forgot we're live on Facebook.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Is it the person's problem that they called you at 7 o'clock, or is it the phone owner who didn't silence their phone?
No, I mean, that part's my fault for the radio, but it doesn't matter. Who are you calling at 7 o'clock in the morning? You ass wagon?
Dude,
and if
my
you
phone
know me,
starts ringing about 4 a.m.
But if you know me, you know I'm
live on the radio.
I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
So why would you call me?
Dude, my dad calls me every single time we're on the air. And during the live show this last Sunday night, he texted me 12 times in a row. 12 times. It was like bing, bing, bing. I'm like, come on. There's no break in that show to be like, stop texting me, Dad.
I want to talk to you now.
It was hilarious.
We'll take a short pause here.
And then he texted me again. Oh, I forgot you're live. You could have just stopped texting me. Oh, classic.
You're still coming over the radio on the commercial. Oh, great.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
No, they probably just mean on the Facebook feed. Right? They probably just mean on the
I don't know.
Facebook feed.
That was Stuart. I hope not. That was cussing.
No, it's just the Facebook feed. That's all it is.
He might not be on Facebook. He might be listening in his truck because he's on the road.
Oh, that's not our problem.
Nope.
Weird. 12 p.m. Oh, I gotta do the weather model.
What's that?
So that's what I gotta do. Look at the weather model. I saw this thing. It was like these two cars passing on the interstate with the drivers staring at each other. And it was, I believe it was Oklahomans going to Kansas to get abortions, and then Kansas people going to Oklahoma to buy weed. And the headline was, "What a world we live in." I was like, man, that does create some crazy state laws around this thing. No matter what you believe in, it's pretty ironic. Can't get abortions here, but we sell weed to anybody.
Yeah.
We get abortions here, but don't you smoke weed now. Oh, America. I love memes, and I love how our society has now gotten to a place like when something crazy happens, it's instantly a meme.
Yeah,
And like
instantly.
that's how we pass along today's news.
Yep. Jack Edgar loves our show. Said it's
You sound easily fooled, Jack Edgar.
we need to get you out more. We got Kevin again from the Coast Guard.
What?
Erica Almond.
Ooh, cool.
Is that a friend of yours?
Erica Almond is Suncoast ladies tournament.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Farner, Terry Farner, sir. Terry Farner is helping her put on that, or she's helping Terry. I don't know how it works, but yes, she's a friend. She also helped us with our getting our artificial reefs installed at a bunch of docks. Kevin Coyne is calling in? Really?
Kevin Coast Guard, it says.
Cool. Well, I guess he broke his own promise.
Yeah, I'm not even going outside of Kevin calling.
Don't get on a boat today, guys.
Right.
What's that protein you are eating there, Did you have your protein
Eggs.
cookie?
Eggs.
Oh. You had eggs?
Wrapped in a burrito shell.
Hit a McDonald's burrito, guys.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. I got my Waffle House shirt on, having a McDonald's burrito.
Yeah. I had my Egg McMuffin before it started.
Vacation starts at 8 o'clock. So I'll be drinking by 8:10. So I got to get some food in my belly.
Are you going straight to St. Pete Beach from here?
No, we're going home. We don't go until later this afternoon. Still got to finish packing.
So you're going to be today through when? Through next weekend?
Yeah, I'll be back here Saturday morning to do the show with you. Then I'll go back over there and pack up and come home. But I leave there in the morning, come over here and do the show with you. Because I think the weekend after that, I got a tournament, I think.
A softball tournament? Yeah, dude, all this lightning lately has been somewhat entertaining for me. I mean, obviously, terrible things have happened. Glad that kid survived, but we got that new webcam on top of the parking garage.
Wow.
And it's so much fun to log in there when a storm's coming and watch the lightning roll in. Oh, my goodness. Especially at night, because, like, the sun will be setting, and then there'll be a huge lightning storm, and then it gets dark, and you're just seeing these lightning flashes over the Gulf. It's pretty cool. It's like you're living on the water. You're living in a high rise on the water. See that one city? There's one city in near the Panhandle. Oh, there's our disclaimer.
It's a good idea.
Company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
You can also follow us live on our Facebook feeds as well at Real Animals Fishing Show and in the Hubbard's Facebook page, along with a couple others. I know this one thing to be true.
What?
That there was not a disclaimer on this show until I brought you in.
Nah,
What's that
that's
all about?
100% false. Because I used to laugh about it.
100% false.
Well before
Not
I
true.
joined the show.
Wrong answer. Not true. Not true. All right.
The fact checkers have confirmed.
That is not true. Lightning quick. We know for sure that is not true.
Yeah, I'm sure that was. I mean, I've been on the air for not that long, and before this, you had questionable guests.
I had questionable partners too. I got Mahoney around, so there's no doubt about that. We got a lot of calls here. Everybody's coming to life here at the 7 o'clock hour. Let's try to rattle through a few. Let's go to Mike in Pinellas. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm good, Mike. And you?
Good, buddy. What's going on? Talk to me.
Well, you said something about freshwater, and you got my first one right, aguilators. Then the next is, I don't think it was, I'm not sure if it was on your shows or somewhere else. I heard that there aren't any crocodiles in the continental United States. Well, yes, we do have an actual saltwater crocodile in the in the state of Florida floating around here and there.
It's crazy.
And blue-green algae, and there's a brain-eating amoeba, and all kinds of fun things that can happen in any parts on the water. I know poor Dylan's Captain Fluffy over there is probably skewed out by all of it. But
yeah, freshwater and me don't get along too hot.
I thought you said you enjoyed fishing those golf.
I enjoy fishing freshwater, but I will never ever swim in one. Golf course ponds are not very inviting.
Listen, it's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July, Mike. We need positive calls, okay? We don't need all the dangers that you're going to face this week while you're in the water and all that. So nothing but positivity, okay?
But we appreciate you enlightening us.
I want to trip out. I want to trip out to Rainbow Springs and float down like a manatee here. For the for this weekend to enjoy some time and look at some of the big fish that are in Rainbow Springs. I enjoy Florida water. To me, there's nothing better. It's just you got to know what you're doing. You got to be careful.
And fun fact about the springs: no alligator concerns there. It's too cold.
Yeah, that's right. The water's too cold. Mike, we appreciate you, brother. Happy 4th of July. Have a safe weekend, buddy. Good call. That's funny. Alligators and brain-eating amoebas.
Crocodiles.
Speaking of brain-eating amoebas, let's go to the U.S. Coast Guard and check out what's going on with our good friend Kevin. Kevin, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Mike. Good morning, Dylan.
Good morning.
So last week, and I call into you guys, and at 8:26, a boat gets hit by lightning 26 miles off Boca Grande.
I know. We were a little afraid to take this call this morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna be careful walking my truck.
That boat was stopped, and they lost everything. A Good Samaritan came and helped them out.
That's good.
Then at 12:30-ish, a 39-foot Stannis got hit 99 miles off the Clearwater. That boat was totally disabled. They set off their EPIRB. They had someone hurt from the strike as well. They all got medevac, taken off from a helicopter.
Wow.
And then yesterday, a charter boat up in Hernando got hit.
Whoa.
So I've been here since 2004, and I only had one lightning strike before that. So we have 3 in a week. And one thing I'd want people to make sure they know, if they're going to run in the lightning storm, of all the times to wear the kill switch, you better wear the kill switch, because if you've seen any of the video, you might get tossed around a little bit. And if the boat keeps going, that's a nightmare compounded.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
in the one instance, his radio still worked, so he could call for help. The other instance, the EPIRB went off. The third instance, the Good Samaritan alerted us. That boat did have an EPIRB. So if you're going to lose everything, an EPIRB might be your only link, or a handheld if you're close to shore.
Wow.
So I just think it's ironic that it all happened at once, but it's something everybody should be aware of. And I have one other thing, fishing specific. Same day, live bait, live well running. Everybody knows, or maybe not everybody knows, but sooner or later some of those baits are going to die and might clog the drain. And then you have water swishing out on your deck. In this instance, enough water was coming out of the live well that it got to the level of the batteries before anyone noticed it. They were taking on water. Now their bilge pump's not working. Had them secure the live well feed, and then they had to use red Solo cups to drain the boat out. So if something like that happens, one of those manual bilge pumps that you could keep on your boat for 10 years and never, ever need to use could be the ticket to make things safe again until help gets there.
That's great stuff, Carlos. Great stuff, brother.
Like I said last week, we just have to respect what we got.
Amen.
And as far as the great Tampa Bay Lightning go, I think, like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's make it 3 out of 4.
Amen, brother. I like the way you roll.
Nice
think the
positivity.
Captain, I think Steven Stamkos is preaching the same tune. I love it. Good stuff. Kevin, great call. Have a happy 4th of July. Be safe.
Dylan, I hope I don't talk to you for at least a week.
Amen to that.
See you, brother.
Right.
Thanks,
Bye,
Kevin.
Thanks for calling.
Good stuff right there. Good stuff. We got time to get to, let's go to Donald in Lutz. Donald, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Another day in paradise.
Living the dream.
That's it. It's SSDD. But, the guy that called up before about the crocodiles, a couple of years ago, I saw a saltwater crocodile over by Big Island by 4th Street, 275, right? Coming from the 275 and swimming over to Big Island. It's like, that thing was big. It's like I'm in my kayak, and it was me and my friend Bruce, and we saw this thing. It was about 100 feet from us, and it's like me, and we turned around.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but I just want to reiterate some importance about safety equipment. We were out Saturday nights kayak fishing, and we launched about 7 o'clock, and it was probably about 11 o'clock-ish, and the wind really started picking up from the east and pushing waves at us. So I said, let's start heading in. So a bunch of us started heading in, and guy, his first time out at night and stuff, and he's not really. He's still a novice in kayaking, and thank God he had a radio with him. And he radioed on the radio, said, "I can't make it in." I said, "I'm cramping up. I can't get back in." So I turned around, and I heard it on my radio. Always have a radio, especially at night. And I turned around, and I got that guy in. So it's like, you know, God only knows what would happen.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't paddle in. That wind was really brutal.
That's crazy.
Coming back in, we were taking on waves. So got to be careful out there. But did catch some fish. Was out Wednesday with Real Adventure Kayak Fishing Group. Finally got to meet Cyrus Dooley, great dude, and caught an 18 and a quarter inch trout.
Nice.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cyrus. He's getting married day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Came home from
He is
Colorado.
getting married, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Cool. Good for him.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun. I got a bunch of trout, and got so far I got 3 trout in the open and a bunch of trout in the conservation division.
Nice.
Very exciting. So I got 3 raffle tickets for a boat so far in the open.
There you go. CCA Florida
Here's to
Star
hoping.
Tournament's rocking. It's rocking. Donald, have a great 4th of July, buddy. Be safe out
You
there.
too, buddy.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do.
Yes, exactly.
Which isn't saying much.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story either.
That's right.
That's right. Hey, you guys take care. Safe holiday and happy Independence Day to us.
Thank you, brother.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate you.
You guys take care.
That is, it's an interesting. I saw an interesting meme about the 4th of July. You know.
Are you talking about the Canada one?
No, I was talking about the one about the all the armed citizens are responsible for this holiday. That
That one was a good one, but I saw one because I guess yesterday or the day before was Canada Day, and it's like this day celebrates the time that 4 Canadian provinces got together and made the Dominion of Canada. Well, in 3 days from now, America is going to celebrate the time where a 10% tax on tea caused armed revolution. You decide which holiday is cooler. That's pretty crazy.
I don't think people have any problem
Qualms
figuring out where we stand.
Armed revolution.
Very cool. Let's check in with Erica Allman. Erica, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're fantastic. Thanks for calling the show. We appreciate you. What you got for us? Talk to us.
Absolutely. So we are launching the first annual Suncoast Ladies Classic out of Marina Cantina in Clearwater, July 21st through the 23rd. And you guys had me on before getting to talk about it, which was amazing. And I have a couple of updates.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
All right. So first of all, July 13th at Boaters Republic on 4th Street in St. Petersburg, we will be running a seminar for any female angler that wants to come and learn more about offshore fishing. And then July 8th is going to be when we close registration just for the single angler ladies. Part of the concept behind this tournament that makes us a little bit different is if you are a female and you want to fish this tournament and you don't maybe know how to offshore fish and you don't have a boat or a captain, a team, someone to take you, then we will pair you up with other female anglers just like you, and you get to come to seminars and learn about it and learn how to target the species, what bait do you use, where should you go this time of year. I want women to become knowledgeable in the sport so we can grow the sport of fishing for females and not just have someone hand them a rod and not really understand the concept. And the other thing that kind of makes us unique is we are trying to work hard to educate women about our conserve fisheries and what's going on. So we'll have the CCA there, coastal cleanup, the FWC taking data from the gag groupers we bring in and showing them how to use descending tools and all of that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. You know,
you don't see a lot of tournaments that do a seminar beforehand.
I've said for years the number one area in the fishing industry that we could grow the most is with our lady anglers. And
Yeah.
I know some
I mean,
very
I never
talented
understood it. Women love to spend money. You'd think like the boating and fishing world, they'd be targeting us left and right because we know how to spend money. We'll be buying boats and rods and reels and all sorts of things.
Right? No doubt.
Hey, she said it. We didn't.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm clear, free and clear on that one, babe. But I mean, it's just a cool. I mean, and I'll tell you this: there's so many great lady anglers out there, and it's a sport. It's a sport that anyone can do. I've been blessed to fish with some great lady anglers, and my wife included, who continues to whoop my butt every time I put her on the boat. Every time.
Well, you know why that happens?
Because she can fish.
Because they actually listen.
100%. Oh, no doubt.
It's also want to make
women
it clear
will
she
listen
said that.
to advice when it comes to fishing.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about that. We made jokes for years.
Every
that
charter captain agrees.
Women
with that
women pay attention to the details. Men are clueless. We just wander around aimlessly. Women, they pay attention to every little detail.
Or it's the ego
and they're
too.
coachable. Yeah.
And men are a lot of times
I
just
think
not going to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Yep.
Hey, tell everybody how
kind of
real quick. Tell everybody how they can get in the tournament. I'm up against the clock.
Yes, www.suncoastladiesclassic.com. We'll get you all registered up, or you can come to the captain's meeting on Thursday, July 21st at Marina Cantina and register there.
Awesome stuff.
Thanks
Appreciate the call. Stay in touch, all right?
All right, thanks.
Thanks,
Have a good
Erica.
day.
You too. All right, we got to go to break. I'm way past my bedtime here. We've got Craig Gross and Alan in St. Pete. We're also going to have a special in-studio guest. It's a good thing Mahoney's not around. He's hiding somewhere.
He's looking for
somebody
Mahoney.
at the door looking for Mahoney. We'll be back. 970 WFLA.
You got to use the little boys' room. All right, let's see what this rain is doing today. Ooh. Mike might have just fallen and can't get up. Something is going on in the hallway. Unsure of what. Yeah, 11 a.m. Nice big old storm off the coast of Manatee.
Probably a long time ago.
What's going on?
Man? I probably met you at a fishing thing with you.
Yeah.
How's it going, Stuart? Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. You're going to be right here.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, and we are live on Facebook already.
All right.
How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
Don't ask me any offshore questions, but I only got a quick segment.
Yeah.
I figure I'd come in and really just talk because I know Jim Vogel's on.
Yeah.
So.
Are you in patrol?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Long time.
Nice. Where's your area of operation?
Hillsborough.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I come in here. I used to come here every once in a while and talk, but it's been a while.
Yeah. So you're mostly in the bay?
Well, yeah.
You don't do any JEA stuff?
No.
Okay.
That's all.
Or
that's all
woods.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Good. John.
Stuart. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Pleasure. Sorry, I was trying to see if they had these labels so I know which pot to. But they don't, so I guess I'll just do everything.
When in doubt, do it all.
Yeah, trial and error.
Oh, how's it been on the radio, man?
Good.
You like doing it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool because I kind of grew up watching my dad call into the show, and
Yeah.
he would come in occasionally and co-host. And then Mike let me do it when I was pretty young at one point, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then getting the opportunity to do it full time was very cool.
Good.
Come full circle.
Yeah.
I like your Garmin watch.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I love these things.
Is that what you
Addicted,
got?
yeah. Oh, mine's dead.
I do it. It's I'm diabetic. It sends my blood sugars to my phone now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, or to my watch, which helps out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I was like listening on the radio. I was like, oh, I'll stop by for a minute because I can do a lot by just coming on the radio for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Explain what's going on this weekend. Get out of here.
Yeah, there's I'm sure you guys are going to be busy, working overtime.
I don't know about overtime.
There's only like 5. There's only like 5 of them. We don't give them any support. Poor
No,
guys.
not at all.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but it's always been that way.
I know, it's still terrible.
Well, think about the feds. What blows my mind is there was when I first went through MREP 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, there was 17 NOAA fisheries agents from North Carolina to Brownsville, Texas to the U.S. Virgin Islands. 17. And now they've increased it to 21.
Big spenders.
21 dudes for North Carolina to Brownsville, Texas, UVIs, Puerto Rico. It's crazy.
Yeah, because we have like 400 officers that are probably sworn. I mean, there's 800 of us, but 400 are probably officers. It comes up to like 1 per 50,000 in the state of Florida, 50,000 people. Hillsborough County is like 1 officer per 250,000 people. So, I mean, it's now with Hillsborough being huge.
You're talking about Hillsborough County sheriffs?
No,
Or
us.
police?
Police.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably 1 officer for every 250,000
Wow.
Hillsborough County residents. And there's only like 6 to 9 officers in Hillsborough County, so it's not much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Joining us here in studio, we've got a special guest, friend of the program. I keep trying to tell him that Mahoney's here on Sundays, but he shows up on Saturdays sometimes. Stuart Messman, Officer Messman, if you will, Florida Fish and Wildlife. How are you, brother?
Good morning. How you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. Good to see you.
Nice seeing you, too.
You know what's nice, and is that I'm here with Dylan, and I know that Dylan and I are both law-abiding citizens. Whenever Stuart does this and Mahoney's in, I'm like, what did Mahoney do?
He's shifting in his chair.
What did Mahoney do?
He actually calls me occasionally and asks me questions, so I get a call from him every once in a while.
Because Mahoney's really good about, he talks about it a lot, as finding what's not listed in the rules.
Exactly.
He talks about that in tournaments, finding that edge.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably what he's calling you about.
Yeah. That's what it's always a random question, but I'll try to give him the answer as best I can.
You guys are in for a busy weekend, I would assume.
We are. That's why, our office is right next to the radio station here. I figured I'd come in here and just talk for just a minute about what's going on this weekend. First of all, this is Operation Dry Water. It's a national campaign. All the Marine officers throughout the nation are doing it. It's boating under the influence. That's what we're looking for this weekend throughout the country. Okay. So we want people to know, you can drink on a vessel. You can operate a vessel while you have a drink, but once you become impaired, that's what we're looking for.
And it's the same. It's the same legal limit as on the street, right?
0.08. Okay. And also, Florida has something different where on the car, if you're the operator, you're the one physically driving the vehicle. In Florida, a boating operator is defined differently. So you're behind the wheel, but also if you're telling somebody to do something, you're also in control. So if you've been drinking too much and you have somebody else drive the boat for you, if that person's inexperienced and you're telling them what to do, you're still the operator, not even physically controlling the vessel.
Oh, wow.
So those are the things we want to look out for and everything. But it is going to be a busy weekend. We just want to let people know it is that going on. Also, life jackets. Have your life jackets on the boat. Have them accessible. That doesn't mean have them all the way into the anchor locker.
Still wrapped in plastic.
Because we all know that when a vessel capsizes, it happens within seconds.
Real quick.
Real quick, and then you want to be able to get to your life jackets. A few other things that happened over the last holiday weekend. Life jackets on PWCs. Make sure even if you're on a PWC, a personal watercraft, your life jacket has to be on you. The operator has to have their lanyard attached to them. And the occupants, if there's somebody riding on there with you, has to have their life jacket on too. Boating safety cards. If you're born after January 1st, 1988, and you operate anything over 10 horsepower, you have to have a boating safety card. There are a couple exceptions, but they're very rare when they'll apply. You have to have those boating safety cards. If you don't have that, then sorry, my phone's going off.
Okay.
If you don't have that, you learn a lot from taking a boating safety class. You know about the speed zones and stuff like that. So we will enforce those boating safety cards for people. Another thing that came up last time for boating holiday weekend was overloading of a vessel. Less than 20 feet, you have to abide by the capacity plate. So if you have a 19-foot vessel or less, if that vessel says you can only carry 4 people, if you have 5 people on that vessel, it is against the law.
Nice.
You want to get that taken care of. So those are the things we'll be out there looking for. Weather's important. We all know it's Florida. So, take a look at the weather.
Be smart.
Yeah, be smart, because it could be nice right now, but in an hour it could be, worse. So
Officer Stuart Messman, Florida Fish and Wildlife, with some great points for this weekend. These guys are going to be busy. Take it easy on them out there. We're going to take a short break. We'll catch up with you on the other side. We'll be back, 970 WFLA. Brother?
That was a download of information. What a lot of people, or what I didn't know, was the rules about child life jackets.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was such a thing, because, we're always on inspected vessels. If
you're less than 6, so 5 or under, you have to have a life jacket on.
But only on certain vessel sizes.
If it's
less than 26 feet, I think.
But if it's less than 26 feet, it's more, and you have like a cabin you can go into, you don't have to have one.
Yeah.
And that's also, too, only if you're underway. So if you're anchored or drifting, that child doesn't have to have one on there. And I've had that before with people. I've had people with cribs on the boat, on like a 21-foot boat with a crib. And I'm like, where's the life jacket on the kid? And I had to go back and think that they were anchored, so they're not required to have it. So,
yeah,
there's all these different things.
I'm always used to our bigger boats, and I've never had to have a life jacket on a kid. Right. But we took my father-in-law's boat out, which is like 24 feet, 25 feet, and I'm cruising by, and the FWC officer was looking at me, looking at my kid. I'm like, what? And I found out he had to have a life jacket on.
Yeah. You need me for anything else, or?
No, you're good. You can stay and hang out, or you can.
It just doesn't matter. I just figured I can get more information across by doing this for 2 minutes than I could for being on the boat all weekend.
We love to have you, brother.
And I don't know how many people are listening today, but
yeah, I don't know either. We average about 7,000 to 10,000 a week, so
yeah,
it's all good.
So that's all.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
It's good to see you, buddy.
I hope I gave you enough.
I'd have loved to have you for the whole show, but
I can stay out for one more segment. It doesn't matter, but if I don't have to, but if you want,
you're more than welcome to stay.
I can stay.
You can stay and finish up the show with us. I got a couple callers we got to get to, but the more we can get out there, the more that. Yeah, I'm all about giving you guys as much love as possible.
I've done this for 18 years, but I don't work for Pinellas County.
Oh, it's all good.
I don't
That's why I asked if you were JEA.
No, but you know what? I'll tell you one thing, and I know you deal with it a lot with the councils and everything like that. And I know you talked about it before, is the whole way that we manage this saltwater fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than freshwater.
Yeah.
Freshwater, you go out there and you shock a lake, and you see what it is. When it comes to saltwater, I remember sitting through a whole training with this before. There's only a couple biologists that can go out there and we get the stock assessment on these fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can put out a fish trap here and there. You can have people dive, and it's basically talking to the recreational anglers, the commercial anglers as they come in. And then that's it. So a lot of our data comes from that. And, it's hard to say what's going on in the whole Gulf of Mexico, but
it's impossible. Fish swim.
But that's what I know you guys talk about a lot is stock assessment and how we change these rules. The rules change on me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know flounder was 14 inches one day, and I was like, guys like, oh, you got a flounder? He's like, oh yeah, it's how big? It's 12 inches. All right, man.
Yeah, people always laugh like, oh, even FWC doesn't know the laws. It's like, dude, it's hard to keep up with the laws.
I'll even talk about it already. I'll tell people, I have no worries telling people, I'm not going to know everything, or I'm going to forget something.
Yeah.
But if you're going to keep that fish, you better know the law.
Yeah.
And that's where we tell people just go to the app, know your regulations. You can't help what you keep.
And now
but when you keep it, you better know the regulations.
And now you guys have that contract with Fish Rules app. It makes perfect sense to have that. FWC, the Gulf Council, if you catch a fish anywhere in the state of Florida, it's on the Fish Rules app, and it's up to date with the latest regulation.
Yeah, I know Fish Rules, somebody's telling me, and then the Fish and Wildlife app we try to get every way to go to because you can keep your fishing license on there. But it's a lot of information now.
Yeah.
But
I like the Fish Rules app just because of the GPS.
Right.
It'll give you the regulations based on where you're standing. And FWC is going to such regionalized management. Look at the redfish thing. There's different rules for Tampa than there is in Sarasota Bay.
Right.
So that GPS service becomes a little bit helpful. These are the regulations based on where you're fishing.
I heard you guys. That's why I texted you. I heard you guys talking over the commercials. I don't know what that was all about.
we can't even tell that's going on. So
You were listening on Facebook or on the
No,
radio?
on the radio. I was heading over here, and you guys went to commercial like prior break, and you guys were talking over the commercial.
Huh.
That's why I texted him.
That's crazy.
it's not good, Maverick.
I was waiting, but I know you guys are on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
I'm not on there, but that's good.
Yeah, the camera feed, unfortunately, is pretty narrow.
We'll put you on there at the end.
No, that's right. They're listening to what we're saying, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they can hear
No,
us.
they're not saying anything back. How many Facebook people do you have watching right now?
Not too many watch it live just because it's early.
Yeah.
I think
We end up with
it's
couple-
about 50. There's 30 watching right now.
Yeah, that's not bad.
We usually end up with a couple thousand by the time the
Yeah.
weekend's over.
Most of them watch it through the day.
Yeah.
You can call me. I hate. I mean, I'm not trying. I enjoy coming on the radio. I really do.
Yeah.
I know my stuff. I enjoy talking on the radio, get a point across. So if you ever need me, like for at least the next month, I'm still like I'm working weekend days. I can come in or talk if you need me as a guest. But like again, if you don't want me, I don't care.
You can come anytime you want.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's your,
What I did was I got blessed, and he was interested in joining forces here. So, that was one of the big challenges here was always trying to get guests because it was me and a guest, me and a guest, me and a guest. And then I had him in as a guest and was like, this really kind of works with him being offshore, me being inshore. So it just kind of all came together. So, but you can.
We offset each other well.
Yeah. That's
No doubt. Do you like Waffle House?
Yeah.
See?
Get out.
Who doesn't? I grew up in Florida.
Who doesn't? I don't.
I haven't been there in a while, but I like it.
See, that's why he likes it, because he hasn't been there in a while.
No. I was there last time I was there was like last year in Blairsville, Georgia. I can tell you that. So.
Yeah. I had a bad experience in a Waffle House.
Oh.
I probably caused it, though. It was spring break in college, and we were traveling from Orlando to Panama City Beach.
Yeah.
We were not treated well, but we probably deserved it.
Probably. If I was a betting man.
3 a.m., bunch of college kids, spring break.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Last big segment of the morning here. So before we fully launch into 4th of July weekend, our good friend Stuart Messman, Florida Fish and Wildlife Officer, is still with us. If you've got any questions for him, you can bring them right here, 1-800-969-9352. Listen, you know that you have pull in the radio business when officers just like text you and go, hey, dude, I'm coming by the studio. Can I chat? Yeah, man, come on. You know you're somebody. That's how it works. At least,
or you're on law enforcement radar.
or both, yeah.
No, not at all.
Anderson hangs out. Anderson and Dylan hang out with Mahoney. We better keep an eye on him. Let's go to the phones here. Check in with our good friend, Craig Gross. Craig, how are you, my friend? How are you? What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I am doing well, Captain. Good morning, Stuart, Dylan, and Mike. Look at this, 4th of July weekend, and I'm in the midst of greatness.
You called the wrong
show. Yeah, where are you at?
After your first two calls, I'm getting ready to go out fishing with 3 other Gold Star dads. We're going out to celebrate our freedom, which we know is not free.
100%.
But after your first 2 calls, I was ready to turn around, go back home, and climb back underneath sheeps and just go back to sleep. That was pretty scary.
No doubt. No doubt.
Anyhow, I had to call because, Mike, I love calling on weekends when we celebrate our freedom.
Amen.
I think that I think one of the greatest things that Americans can do is take their kids out fishing. My dad took me fishing. I took my son fishing. I think the kid that grows up fishing, whether it's a boy or a girl, is less likely to end up in some sort of a jail or prison or something like that. There's just something about it. It just bonds you with nature, with your dad, with your family, and there's something very magical about it for sure.
Well, spending time with the kids is important, and if you can do it spending that time on the water, in my opinion, or in the outdoors is a great thing. We owe, like you said, we owe our freedom to a great deal of men and women who, at some point this weekend, we should all think about those men and women, both here and abroad, that are not off this holiday weekend. We've got some great warriors that are keeping our freedoms where they're at overseas. They're not with their families. They're not with their friends. They're in some horrible places doing some great things for our freedom. So it's always great to hear your voice, my friend, and it's always great to make sure we don't forget that.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. I was actually out at MacDill Air Force Base yesterday for the change of command out there, and that's the very thought that came to my mind was, man, there's a lot of families right now that they're separated from their moms and dads because these people are giving the ultimate sacrifice to protect the very freedom that we have. So
yes, sir.
It's a wonderful thing. I love you, brother.
Back at you.
God bless you, and God bless America.
You're the man, Craig. Have a great weekend, my brother. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much.
All right, partner. Good stuff. Craig is a great story, giving back to the community. He lost his son over in the Middle East, serving this great country. So we always talk about the I'm at a loss for the right word here, but the ultimate sacrifice that our men and women service members give. We forget about the sacrifice that the moms and the dads make when we lose one of those great warriors. That's a huge sacrifice as well. So,
and it's cool to see that he got motivated to continue to give back to other people in that situation.
He does a great job. He is a great voice, a great spirit. I'm not sure that I could get through something that difficult as well as that man does, with a big smile, super friendly, just a great guy. So, again, something, as we're celebrating our independence, something to remember this holiday season is that this freedom wasn't cheap. It came at a cost, and we need to remember those that gave so much. Let's go to Alan in St. Pete, talking snook and redfish. Alan, how are you?
Well, good morning, guys. Well, I tell you, I was feeling kind of sorry for myself. I always seem to have to work on these holiday weekends, but you just put it all in perspective for me right there.
Well,
so,
and you're another one, just like our main man here, Stuart Messman, that's out there on the streets, keeping things calm and peaceful and safe for everybody, and we appreciate what you do as well, Alan.
I appreciate that. Well, I'm biting the bullet this weekend, and Tuesday I'm heading for the Keys for a week, so don't feel too bad.
Nice.
All right, we're hanging up on you now.
Mike's on vacation all week,
Snook's
too.
Been on fire. I've been, boy, I tell you, my wife and I had a day last week. We literally caught 50 snook and lost probably another 20.
Nice.
And it's hard to leave snook to go look for redfish, so we didn't. You can't, when you get on a bite like that, you just let it roll. But
for sure,
well, that was a great day. But the main reason I call in is I want to give a shout out to some good customer service. I like to do that whenever I find it. My trolling motor started acting up on that last trip, and I knew I was going to the Keys. I'm like, well, this is something I can't live without. So took it over to the guys at Bet. And I had picked up about 50 feet of a 100-pound braid, got inside the trolling motor somehow, and broke the seal. So I got salt water in the lower unit, and it was toast. So it was inevitable. So I had to bite the bullet. But they really worked with me. They cut me a deal on a gently used 72-inch and turned it into a 60-inch while I waited.
Wow.
And for a fraction of the cost of a new lower unit and motor and guide rod, they put it back together, and I walked out the door with essentially a new trolling motor for a fraction of the cost while I waited, and you just can't beat that. So the guys at Bet, hats off.
Well,
you got a Minn Kota trolling motor, they're the go-to guys.
That's awesome.
I just had I just did a tip of the week for one of the TV shows about mom and pop tackle shops and how they rely on customer service,
just like mom and pop breakfast places.
Exactly, very similar. They rely on that customer service to get you to come back, because that's all they do. They do fishing tackle. At Betts, they do tackle and trolling motors. But, I mean, they've been there on that corner forever. forever. Eric and his staff over there are phenomenal people, and they want you to catch fish. They want you to have a good experience when you come in. It's not a big box store where you're in and you may not even talk to anybody that works there when you walk in there. You know, these little mom and pop shops, you walk in, they're trying to make sure, hey, do you need anything? What can we help you with? I mean, it's just a whole different experience, and I just love the mom and pop tackle stores. I really do. I think they do a great job. And again, Eric and the great family of people over there at Betts Fishing have been doing it as good as anybody in the Bay Area for a long time. So you'll get no qualms with me about loving up on the Betts group for sure.
Yeah, because I couldn't live with the Keys without my trolling motor. Because I mean, I've got an anchor; it's on the boat somewhere. But
right, no doubt. Stuart's happy to hear that. Yeah, Stuart's happy to hear that you have an anchor.
Hey, I used to work the Keys. I understand what goes on down there.
It's a whole different jurisdiction.
That's right. That's right. Very crazy. All right, my friend. Well, stay safe.
Right, boys.
Stay safe out there, pal. Be like I said, keep your head down and stay out of trouble out there. And again, we appreciate what you do to keep our streets safe.
I appreciate you. You guys have a good one.
All right, brother.
See you, bud.
Good stuff.
Snook bite has been hot.
It has been crazy good.
Yeah.
The snook bite's been crazy good.
But it's killing me because they're so focused on crabs in Johns Pass, and it makes it real difficult. We got these shrimpy shrimp. It is that time of year. Please remember, when you go to a bait shop, everybody's got small shrimp. They either don't have shrimp or they're small. It's that time of year, folks. From July 4th until like August, late August, they're smaller shrimp. So keep that in mind when you go to those bait shops.
I will tell you that I had, speaking of shrimp, I had one of the best bites of my whole entire 2021 was after the red tide. Bait was just tough to get one morning, really tough. And finally I was like, you know what? These guys are already at the marina. I can't catch bait this morning. The bait that the bait guy has is terrible. I'm going to buy shrimp. We're going fishing.
There you go.
And when I tell you we wrecked them, it was unbelievable.
Dude, during that red tide, shrimp are like cockroaches, apparently. They proliferate in that red tide.
It's unbelievable.
And they get bigger and they get hardy. There were some big shrimp after that.
And remember that the red tide pushes the bait out or kills it. It either leaves or it kills it. So you got nothing around.
Yeah.
The fish are keyed in on the crustaceans that do make it through. It was phenomenal. Like first bait in the water, I had like a 30-inch snook. I thought, really? I mean, it was unbelievable. The bite was crazy good on shrimp.
And that's what they're keyed in a lot of times in Johns Pass on the surface is that lighter tackle, free line shrimp. It's almost instant bite.
Yeah.
But right now, they're all about them pass crabs.
Yeah, well, that'll change here as the tides weaken a little bit.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, what's your favorite? Do you get to fish much, Stuart?
No.
No?
No, you know, I do this. My wife gets mad at me because I don't fish. I do this every day. I'm out there in the sun every day, woods or water. And I know a lot of officers will do, you know, outdoor stuff on their days off. I just don't have the time for it. I have a daughter. I have other things I like to do. I spend enough time outside. I just, you know, I like being on the boat. I like being in the woods. I like checking fishermen. It's just not something I've been doing. I mean, it's been 18 years with this job now. I have not fished much in 18 years.
That's one of the saddest things I've ever heard.
I know. And that's what everybody tells me is, why don't you fish? You know, I go on the boat a lot more than I fish. I just don't. I like to scallop. I like to, you know, I'll fish occasionally, but that's it. I should take my daughter out fishing more, but I just.
Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too busy.
But, you know, when I'm wearing 20 pounds of weight on me, I'm on the boat. Like, to this weekend, it wears me out.
Yeah, I get it.
But that's it.
I get it.
Yeah, I would not want to wear that uniform out in the sun all day.
Yeah,
no, that's
I would
tough.
understand
I'm used to it, but it is tough.
They couldn't put you in shorts, bro?
I can wear shorts, but you don't want to see me in shorts. You know, it's funny because the three of us in here are very big guys.
Yeah.
Imagine you wearing a uniform like this, wearing shorts. It looks a little weird. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking looking weird's okay if you're a little
cool.
more comfortable. Yeah.
No.
I'm thinking that.
You know what that's called? Marriage.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Wow.
Yeah, you can look weird. You're comfortable with yourself. You're in a happy marriage. That's what's dad life. It's awesome.
Dad life. That's great.
That's what dad bods happen to them.
Wow. All right, we are going to take a break here. We have the great Captain Scott Moore. That'll probably be the last call we take this morning on the other side, and we're going to wrap this thing up. Our good friend Stuart Messman in studio from Florida Fish and Wildlife. So, again, just so glad you could make it in this morning, Stuart. We appreciate you, brother.
No problem.
We'll be back wrapping things up on the other side, 970 WFLA.
Hey, what are you going to hit me with the wow for? You knew what I meant.
It's funny.
Someone said on the live feed, what's the rule on trimming the fish's tail to get it in the slot? No mutilated fish. Yeah. That is the rule.
Whole condition.
And that's always an argument offshore. Is like, oh, the piece left after the shark ate it is legal size. No, you still cannot keep it. Even if you catch a 50-pound gag and it takes a small chunk out of that fish, it's mutilated. You can't keep it. Right. Even if it's a legal size fish.
Altered. You can eat it then real quick. You know, the law
gray
allows
area.
you to eat it. If it's for immediate consumption, it just I don't think it matters what the size is. Like snook, you can eat on the boat. You know, you have to leave it in whole condition. But if you're going to eat it for immediate consumption, then you can.
What?
There's weird stuff like. Did you
I'm
know
not
it's
touching that one.
Did you know that for you, there's like it's a misdemeanor. And this would be more if you have a snook on the boat.
Yep.
If you keep a snook, you can't have a cast net on the deck of the boat. It has to be stored. If you have a cast net on the deck of the boat and you have a snook in your possession, that's a misdemeanor.
Really?
Yep. So we talk about knowing all this stuff, and a lot of our stuff's not in the regulations, but there's a lot of things that are not in the regulations that people don't realize. So then you take that into effect. You know? But that's true. If I came across you and you said on your charter, yeah, I got a snook here, and your cast net sitting on the deck of the boat, you could go to jail for that. Now, you're not going to go to jail, but it's a misdemeanor. Are we going to write you for it or just?
Yeah, that comes to like a lot of that stuff to me comes down to like officer interpretation.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's not interpretation. It's
officer.
But it's also your intent.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about it because we don't post it.
Yeah.
But that's
I'll tell you what's going to get me sooner or later is that. I guess I'm giving myself up here. That's right. But sometimes.
Someone you know.
You can't catch a fish, catch a snook, and release it without the dolphins eating it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm not releasing this snook.
Yeah.
He ate 2 in a row. I'm done.
Right.
I put it in the live well. I'm like, people, we're moving because I'm not going to feed them. We're going to go right around the corner and release this.
There's some things
I always
like
think
that.
to myself, dude, what be the worst case scenario coming around the corner?
But I mean, there's some things like that you're willing to go to court over.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like,
and again, it's up to the officer's discretion.
Well, and I've got people on the boat with me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it. I wasn't by myself, right?
Yeah.
Like we just talked about.
The intent was there.
Right.
The proper intent.
I was. We were not.
In tarpon, the intentional destruction of a tarpon. It's not in the regulations, but it's in the rule book. So, like that guy a few years ago, you catch a tarpon and you put it on the side of the boat trying to get a shark.
Artie Price.
That's the intention. That's intentional destruction of tarpon is against the law. So there's a lot.
And that
of
one was
rules.
already dead.
Oh, it was.
That one had already got hit by a tarpon. It had already got hit by a shark, but he was using the rest of the tarpon to get the sharks to come.
There's a lot of stuff to know.
He got in all kinds of trouble. Already lost sponsors over that shit. All kinds of stuff.
That's not good.
Because his customer put the video out there.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd be like, nice customer, bro. So August 16th, we're going to be back at Bartow Ford. That's the third Tuesday of the month in August. We're going to be at, again, Bartow Ford, 2800 US 98 North there in Bartow. Captain Brett Norris will be my guest. Rock Bottom Charters, great near shore, inshore, tarpon. Brett does it all. Going to be super entertaining. I'm sure Mr. Mahoney will be there rattling him. Mr. D. Hubbs is going to be there too.
No, I'm just hurrying you up to the part about the Cuban sandwiches and double crab.
Yeah, that's right, yes. Yeah, Silver Ring Cafe, our good friend Dana, going to be loading us up with some killer Cubans again. Hopefully we'll get some crabs. We didn't get crabs this last time because they were out. There's a shortage.
I would have had a big problem with that.
Yeah, it was
glad I was in a fisheries meeting.
Yeah, it was the right one to miss for you for sure. Let's go to the phones here quick, get a quick chat with our good friend Captain Scott Moore. Scotty, how are you?
All right. Yeah, I heard Dylan saying something about those pass crabs. When I fished a lot down in Stump Pass, about halfway out that tide, the whole place would blow up. People really don't realize how much our fishery relies on those brown and mackerel crabs, the fish eating them. A lot of people don't understand why the redfish get around the passes. They're in there eating those pass crabs.
For
Everything.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah, no doubt. My wife caught a nice snook. We were drifting crabs at the Skyway Bridge last Saturday. She caught a nice snook on a pass crab.
And it's always the bigger snook that are taking them, too.
Yeah, not little guys. Yeah, it's usually, no doubt. What else going on,
Yeah,
buddy? How you been?
Tarp and everything, even permit. You'd be surprised. May even be some permit. It doesn't matter what pass you're at.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, we lost Mark Sozen, of course, and I wanted to make sure everybody realized Mark was one of the first to talk about regulation and conservation for our fisheries. And I also want to tell people, if you get a chance, he has a tremendous, great book out there, Mike, of all his ventures all over the world in fishing adventures. It's really, really good. Really good read.
He was a very, very good friend of the Real Animals. Billy and I, he befriended us years ago when we first started in this industry. And, I was crushed when I heard we lost him because he was a great man. No doubt.
Sad.
No doubt. Good stuff. Good bring up, my friend. Hey, have a happy 4th of July, buddy.
I will, and I'm going to head down to Boca Grande.
Nice.
We're a little slower. Anna Maria's a little crazy right now, but good fishing, everybody, and have a great 4th.
Thank you, my friend. Great to hear your voice, pal. Enjoy. Truly a legend right there.
So we don't have a lot of time left, but someone in the comments asked for the craziest thing you've seen on the water.
Oh, my
as
gosh.
a law enforcement
I get a
officer.
lot of that. 18 years on, I couldn't tell you because I kind of forget the previous day. I don't try to dwell on everything.
It's that bad, huh?
And our job's a lot of sneaking up on people. It's a lot of fun sometimes. That's our job. You're not supposed to know we're there when we check you. We can sneak up on you. I've hit it in the mangroves before. I've laid down in mangroves. We've hit it on bridges, fender systems, watching people fish. It's just amazing what people will say about the FWC officers when they don't know we're there. And it's pretty funny to hear. But, honestly, it's a great question. I do a lot of kids' fishing camps. I can't answer that question for some reason because I just don't remember. I mean, I don't remember what happened last year. It doesn't matter. My memory's bad. I had so much going on with this job. I just check out of it when I'm done. And I think that's the best way to approach this job. But there's a lot of crazy things that happen.
The amount of morons. Think about the amount of morons that he has to deal with.
No, most people
I'm just envisioning him hiding in mangroves and the two guys like, imagine if some dumb FWC officer
it's
saw us
happened
doing
before.
this.
And and you're like, hey, FWC, and they're like, oh my gosh, I stayed up.
They spoke it into existence.
Our job is to sneak up sometimes, so you guys don't know. There's a lot of people that'll toss fish on you. That's interference. If you see an FWC officer coming and you start tossing your fish overboard and we see it, that's an interference. There's a specific charge in state statutes about interfering with an FWC officer in their duties. That's one of them. So there's a lot of things that go on. So, and we're talking about that during the break about all the rules and regulations out there. There are so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we just tell people sometimes you can't help what kind of fish you catch, but when you keep it, you better know the regulations, because even I, with my experience and my years on, if I don't see a fish in a while, I will forget what the size limit is. I'll refer to it on the stop. So, and I don't care, but if you're going to keep that fish, you better know what it is.
Put the app
you
on
have no
your phone.
responsibility to fish and catch and release. You have a responsibility once that fish goes in a cooler.
Keep, and again, there's an app, the FWC app. It's real handy. Put it on your smartphone now. It's a free download. You can get it in the app store. Just have it on your phone, because I forget. I fish for a living, and I'm out there. I don't remember exactly what
and
the
you
limit
can
is.
keep your license on there. So it's just like insurance for the state of Florida for your car. It's a digital license. You can buy it on the app and keep it on the app. You don't have to show us a paper one. You can show us the app from now on.
Good
if you're
stuff.
out there and you forget at the last second, buy your stuff.
Stuart, we appreciate you very
Life
much,
jackets too. Boating under the influence this weekend. Weather. Three things I got to look at.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Dukes, we appreciate you, brother. Way to keep us rolling here this morning. Good stuff for sure. I want to wish everybody again a happy 4th of July. Again, thoughts and prayers out to Mark Sosen's family, the great Mark Sosen, who we lost here just in the last day or two. The original TV outdoor guy. I call him the godfather of outdoor TV for sure. But have a great weekend. Have a great holiday. Have a great week.
And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Tight lines, everybody. We're out.
Yeah, it did.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for coming by,
brother.
Yeah, anytime.
We're here, pal. We're here for you.
Yeah, you guys are doing that operation this weekend, and then there's a wolf pack operation too on land.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people get their act together.
I'm gonna just get really drunk and walk around.
I'm gonna get really drunk on my couch.
It's too
responsibly.
Yeah, we'll be at the beach.
It is hot.
Come over here so you can get on camera.
Stay hydrated too.
You can get on camera. Yeah, they'll see you.
Yeah, you gotta come to this side of that chair.
Okay.
You'll be
We weren't just making it up. He's real.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's real.
We're all the same height in here too.
That's right.
I'm probably bigger with my boots on.
No Mahoney's in here.
No.
It's fine. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dude, no worries.
Anytime.
Yeah, it was good to hear from you.
Anytime you need, man.
Yeah, buddy, I appreciate you.
Saturday or Sunday.
I like seeing you like this other than you surprising me.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I don't think I've ever stopped you on the water. I don't think I ever. Why don't you work a lot of Pinellas?
And I'm not.
I'll see Billy more than anything out there, and that's it. So.
That's when you should stop for sure. You want to double check that cat.
Yeah. And like I said, Mike would call me every once in a while, but I feel like I do a lot more doing this than just be on the water all day.
Oh, for sure, brother.
Amplify the message.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's about it. It's people understand it.
We're happy to be here. We're here for you guys anytime you need us.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna take off and get out of here.
Okay, buddy.
You just go out this exit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, man. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Good to see you, Steve.
Mike.
I'll come get a handshake too, brother.
Oh,
I appreciate you.
no problem. Anytime.
Good to go.
Have a good one, man.
All right,
Thanks.
brother.
Be safe out there.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget, Sunday night, 8:30 p.m., we've got our live stream show on the Real Animals Facebook page and the Hubbard's Marina Facebook page. This guy's on vacation, so we're probably not going to hear from him tomorrow night. We probably don't want to hear from him tomorrow night.
If 10 to 9, I don't know.
He'll be asleep.
I know I'll probably still be awake, but I might not be in the best shape you've ever seen me in.
Well, hopefully we'll see you next weekend for another episode of our Real Animals radio show, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on 970 WFLA and also on our Facebook pages. What do you got going on this week?
The new third quarter shows for Real Animals TV coming out. So all the new shows here are going to get a run of about 6 or 7 more new episodes. So we got that going on. We're getting ready for iCast coming up. That's kind of a big deal. So that's about it, though, really. Just kind of chilling.
Busy.
Going to be on vacation. And then when I get back, we're going to start we're going to do some more beach snook fishing, and we start cranking up with our mangrove snapper bite. The snapper bite's going to really fire off in the bay here as we roll into July. Always does.
They're foaming inside the pass around the dock, all the little mangroves. It's crazy, and we're doing well offshore. Got that first quarter moon coming up. As far as the eye can see, forecast looks beautiful. It's going to be hot this week. We got that high pressure settling in. It's going to be super, super hot. No clouds, no reprieve. Stay hydrated.
I was going to just say, stay hydrated and
afternoon thunderstorms.
Care of Jim Fogel, our good friend Captain Jim Fogel from the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Watch out. Don't be fighting those storms. If you see that storm coming, get under cover. We've had way too many lightning strikes already, so
Amen.
Be safe out there.
3 in a week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Be
3
safe
boats in a week and then a child.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And a shark attack, so.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe out there, y'all. Have a good weekend.
Wipe
and happy
wipe a little blood on your buddy's leg before you go in the water. Maybe they'll get him first.
That's what it's like being friends with Mike Anderson, guys. See ya.
Jacob Chaffins has died. Unfortunately,